Hello again. I am back this week with a bunch of camera roll tidbits I just slapped together from when I visited Vancouver this past January with my friend Jessica. And this was a very exciting trip because, as a born and raised Torontonian, I've always wanted to visit. Especially if you are from either city, you know that Toronto and Vancouver are basically neck and neck for best city in Canada. If you happen to think any other city is up for that discussion, I'm sorry, you're just wrong. But in any case, I've always been eager to visit, and it did exceed my expectations. Now, firstly, the food there does slap. We went to several restaurants, obviously, but there are a handful that I would like to recommend directly. The Grounds for Coffee cinnamon bun. I think it's apparently famous across the city for being really good, and I would say yes, it's worth its shit. I rate it. We also had lunch at Miku, which we do have in Toronto, but this was hands down a bomb-ass meal. I had the Lunch Shokai, and it was very good, a 9 out of 10 at least. And we obviously expected going there that sushi would be better on the West Coast, which it is. So we did have sushi 3 different times in those 4 days, but Miku was my favorite. I also went to Sapos Tacos and had their beef birria tacos, and those tacos were fire. The staff was really kind, and I wish I could go back to eat them. But my number one recommendation, if you enjoy matcha, this is a non-negotiable. I'm being so dead ass when I say this. The Nīzu's Reserve Matcha Latte is the best matcha I've ever had outside of Japan. If you're someone who's serious about matcha, you're gonna spend the $9-10 there, and it's gonna change your life, I promise you. But yeah, besides the food, the nature available at your doorstep in Vancouver is the real highlight of the city. I think that's probably really obvious to some people, but as someone who doesn't even really enjoy the outdoors to a crazy extent, like I'm not a huge hiker, I don't do camping or anything like that. I like the outdoors pretty normal or maybe even under average amount, but the nature is what made our trip the most fun. Stanley Park is beautiful. We spent an entire day there just walking, and if you wanted to go there and do the entire park in one day, you'd probably have to get an electric scooter or bike that I saw people riding around. But aside from that, just being there, enjoying the scenery and the ocean, it was so beautiful. Also, the second last day that we were there, which was our last full day there, Jessica wanted to go to Lynn Canyon Park, and I did not want to. I was very begrudging about going because I thought it would be way too draining since we'd already done a lot of walking and hiking at that point. But it ended up being very energizing, if anything. Being immersed in the nature and the views and everything like that, it was just very serene and quiet and peaceful. And again, as someone who doesn't even really fuck with hiking, I really loved Lynn Canyon Park. And I told Jessica afterwards, this was the best way to spend our last day here. Thank you for choosing this. And in all that, I'd say the food is fire, but it's the nature that's absolutely insane. If anything, the one thing you shouldn't be getting your expectations up for is the urban areas of downtown, like Gastown. It's really not that special, especially compared to other metropolitan cities worldwide, or even compared to just Toronto. The window shopping and walking around central downtown was pretty underwhelming for me. But it's the nature and the food that made this trip very much worth it. And honestly, this was also the best way for me to start my unemployment era. It was very easy to kill 4 days here, and I would 100% recommend visiting. If anything, I would love to live here, but I can settle for going back in the summer and getting a different experience from the winter side of Vancouver. But yeah, recommend it, and if you are thinking about visiting, you should just do it. Anyways, that is all I have to say on the matter. I'm not going to disclose which city I think is better because I'm not trying to get canceled this early, but thank you for listening, and I will see you next time.